Hi Gordon. Tonight we're going to change the auxiliary fan in front of the radiator. It's a thing that keeps the temperature of the condenser down. And we're just going to need a couple of tools to do that, but we've got one bad and we're going to show you what it sounds like when they go bad, and they're very simple to replace. All we need tonight is an 8mm nut driver and just a regular Phillips screwdriver. So let's go see what one sounds like when it's going out and what we might do about that. First of all, let's see what one sounds like when it's going out. All I've done is disconnected over on the bottom side, which we'll show you in a minute. So I've unplugged that fan so that I can just plug it in with a set of jumper cables to 12 volts, and you'll be able to hear it rattle. Let's listen to that. I think you can tell that the bearings are probably out on that fan. It certainly is making a racket there, so we're going to replace that this evening. Hi Gordon, this evening we're going to replace the auxiliary fan on a 300D turbo that's out. The auxiliary fan is used to keep the temperature of the condenser down so that the air conditioner works better, and we've got one that's making some racket. We're going to replace it. What we need is a real simple set of tools here. We need just a regular Phillips screwdriver. We need an 8mm nut driver, or equivalent. We could use a socket or a wrench. We need a little pair of dikes to cut some tie wraps, and then we've got some spare tie wraps. So one of the first things we're going to do is unplug this particular fan. If we look, you can see the fan wire comes off of the fan at this point, and we're just going to cut that tie wrap so that we loosen the wire, and then there may be another tie wrap underneath there. I can't recall, but let me get under there and look. The plug is not very long, and it's right under the bumper, actually beside the radiator where it connects. So if I get under there underneath the car, I can see that fan under here, the plug, and so I've disconnected it there, and then right in front of the bumper it comes out, and it comes up. So very simple. Now that I've unplugged it, it's just a matter of taking a couple of 8mm nuts off. One here, and one on the other side. Now, as it turns out, there's another little trim piece right here behind the bumper, and it's just a regular Phillips screw. If we take it loose, we can typically bend the little plastic piece up like that, and that fan should come right out. So now we're just going to replace it. Okay, so we're ready to go back on with this fan. It goes on as easily as it came off, we hope. Lift up that little like plastic piece, and need to get that screw started, get it lined up. So we got that screw started. I want to make sure that we get that cord behind that bracket, behind that post there. I got to get those brackets lined up for those 8mm bolts, and they go in there pretty simply, we hope. Yeah. Now that we've replaced that fan, let's just see what a different one looks like. This one we put on there happens to be used, but it's still good. And let's see the difference. And you can tell that that one is quite a bit quieter. That's more like what one should sound like. So, so now we've got the fan replaced. Now, Gordon, that fan, by the way, is controlled. This auxiliary fan is controlled by a couple of different electrical circuits. One of them is the sensor. The sensor is on the receiver dryer. It senses temperature, and a certain receiver dryer temperature. The sensor actually actuates a relay that turns on the fans in the fan circuit. The sensor is over here by the receiver dryer, and if you'll notice, there are two connections, and the one with the blue and brown wire, this one right here, if you can see where my finger is pointing, that's the sensor that controls the fan. It senses the receiver dryer temperature. And this, by the way, while we're at it, this switch right here, also on the receiver dryer, is a low refrigerant or a low refrigerant switch. In other words, if the pressure inside the system is too low, it senses that and it turns the compressor off. But right now we're just concerned with that dryer, or I'm sorry, this dryer switch, and it's the thing that actuates that fan. And if we look over here on the other side of the car, the relay that is hooked to is underneath this little box over here on the driver's side, and you see there's two relays. One of these relays in this 300D turbo, the back relay, I believe, is the one that operates the fan. This front relay right here is the one that operates the compressor clutch. So it'll turn that compressor clutch off and on. So that takes care of the auxiliary fan problem.